actually the day that head coach Steve Sarkisian was fired. It was nice to see everybody kind of come together, cover it, and then that night in our broadcast, it was more than just like, oh, hey, look, like the head coach was fired. It was, we talked about alcoholism, the effects for college students. We talked about, obviously about Sarkisian and his role in leaving the team and all of that, but then also we looked at least I looked at, the impact that the interim head coach Clay Helton's going to make, how the players are going to be affected by all of this, what it means for the team more than just like, oh, this head coach was fired.
Probably going to red carpets, I guess, thus far. Being able to go and like kind of talk to new celebrities about this and that is so much fun for me. I did a really great story at the All-Star Celebrity Basketball game where I asked a lot of political questions. So I asked if Kanye were to run for president, would they vote for him, and who his vice president should be, and what policies they would want him to implement, and I got some really, really great answers.
This one time, I was sent out to cover the Black Bruins Matter rally down at UCLA because a frat party was using blackface in one of their parties. Like the feeling about spreading that kind of passion that they have for that justice, being able to shoot a stand-up there with them in the back, and then just like having a very powerful story to tell.
The sports director, Matt Tuff, says, man, we don't have anybody to cover water polo. And I'm like, I don't know what that is, but I'll go. So, I mean, this is a whole new world. I'm from Texas, and I have no idea what water polo, that's a West Coast thing. We have no idea what that is in Texas. And so, you know, it's this whole new world that I was exposed to just because I, you know, volunteered to go cover one story. Now I'm the water polo guy. So every time ATVN happens on Thursdays, you'll see me at the pool. You know, I'm like the man in the water.
Working on the Radio Ambulante Film Festival, which was a pop-up film festival that happened earlier this fall. And through that, I was able to talk to the programmer. I was able to interview Renee Tajima Peña, who's the director for No Mas Bebés, and her documentary also played here on campus as part of Visions and Voices. And it was about the forced sterilization of Latina women through the USC teaching hospital. So it's very important for me as a Latina, and I got to cover this story that meant a lot.
A specific story would be the blind snapper for the USC Trojans. This gentleman, he had a cancer in his eye, and he had this deal with Make-A-Wish Foundation, and he wanted to the last day before he had a surgery that would remove his eyesight forever to rid the cancer. He wanted to see the USC Trojan football team. And this was at the time of Pete Carroll. They let him on to the team, and he got the last thing he ever saw in his life was the USC football team, like in a game. So he saw like the students and like the entire Coliseum light up with people and crowd roar and all the red and cardinal colors. And now that he's actually part of the team and playing for the team, despite some of the challenges that he had to overcome, I think that's magical. And doing a story on that was definitely rewarding. It's humbling to see something like that happen.
I was supposed to do a reporting about how there was this LA County assistant who saved approximately 40 people, if I recall, from a burning bus, and he saved all of them. So he was holding a press conference, so he wanted to talk about it to the people. So I was supposed to go and shoot some B-roll because they were going to play for ATVN at 6 p.m. So I like go over there, it's already 10 minutes past. I like run into the area and all these reporters are leaving, and I was like, oh my God, like what's happening? I just got here. And they're like, you missed it, it ended. And like, I was like, oh my God, this is terrible. What am I gonna tell the EPs? And then fortunately, the office were standing right there. And so one of his assistants or whoever was saying, hey, he's right here. Do you wanna do it with her again? And he was like, sure, why not? So here I am with like my backpack and my hair all over the place. And I'm like, thank you so much for doing it for me. And then he was like, yeah, sure. So he did the entire press conference again for me in an abridged like 5-minute for me. And I was like, thank you so much. So I like quickly called my EP. I was like, I got the video, and everyone was super happy. So yeah, so because of that, like I quickly went back, told somebody else to edit it, and they showed it for the 6 p.m. at the nighttime show.